call and conversation when I was in the class. That was a while ago.
Oh, okay. Now, wait a minute. This says the content of this meeting is being sent to a third party. By staying this meeting, you consent to sharing your information, including audio and video. Users with access to the third party service can watch or share content with others, right?
That just means it's being recorded. That
Oh,
means that's what it does. It sends a notification whenever I start the recording. So that just
okay.
means that it's being recorded right now.
Oh, good. It means got it. Okay, got
Mhm.
it. Okay. So that's a beautiful tanka you have behind you. Yes,
Mm.
yes. Okay, and so so let's get together. Oh, and how do you Japa Saraswati?
Mhm.
Can you make either just the still photo or
Oh, to turn off your video? Let me see. Stop video. There, I turned off your video.
oh, good.
Okay. And Miriam, I think we're doing it without video, unless when you're talking because it's distracting to see on the screen sometimes. But if you want to show the video for some reason, please feel free to do that, okay?
Miriam, is that okay?
Yes, absolutely. Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good. This is wonderful. Okay, so everybody put everybody's hands together as you have what do you call it? Heart breath. Okay, begin with heart breath. And now we're going to begin with tuning in and inhale. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Adkare Name, Jugakare Name, Sakare Name, Siri Gurudev Name. Adkare Name, Jugakare Name, Sakare Name, Siri Gurudev Name. Adkare Name, Jugakare Name, Sadguru Name, Siri Gurudev Name. Long deep breath. And you're still being with Baba Siddhi Chand. And now listen to what saying Baba Siddhi Chand is saying for the word power. Power. Okay? Okay, so now we're going to listen to the word power for uh, 3 minutes as you're listening to Baba City Chand's meditation for 3 minutes. And then we will talk with each of you to talk from that. Okay? Do you all understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And wait a minute. And go ahead. Begin. And inhale. Exhale. Good. Okay. Now I see Salt City. Are you coming in?
She's coming in. She's still connecting to audio right now. So
Okay.
she probably can't hear you yet.
Okay. Just keep up some more heart breath. Sun City? Sun City? Are you there? Help us, Saraswati. What's happening?
Yes, Sud City is connected to audio, so she can unmute herself, but I think you probably want to tell her that we already tuned in, so she can tune in and do heart breath. And then our cue to listen for today was for power.
Okay, so Sud City, did you get that?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay, so
Satnam.
everybody else has already begun
Yes.
meditation. So first of
Yo
all,
comprendo.
so please do tuning in and then do your meditation for 3 minutes, and the what do you call it? And the word for Baba Siddhi-chan is power. Power. Okay.
Okay. Satnam. Thank you so much. Adios.
Okay. So now, how about Agya Po? Can you go?
Sure. Power is what I heard from Babasiri-chan in Seoul. It's a huge word. It's a huge word with many facets. And the Buddhists call it the right use of power and so forth. And the scientists call it the ability to do work. And for me, power, I've abused it. And
What did you say?
for me, I have abused my power at times. And for that I do Ho'oponopono. And for me, what power means is not, what I'm learning is not power over, but power with other people and power with soul. And what I've learned too from soul is that I, before soul, am powerless. I have no power of what I need to be able to do is to allow the power of soul to move through me as I'm in a healing position or as I'm working with someone, and not and forget that it's I who am an ego thing, that I'm wielding the power. And it's when I'm feeling the most helpless and the most powerless, which has been recently more prevalent than other times. I reach for soul, and I remember soul, and I listen to soul, and I think this is a wonderful. Soul's very happy. Baba Siri-chan very happy for me to recognize that power comes from my connection with soul. And yeah. And I can abuse, it's very dangerous when I'm not listening to soul and I'm wanting to do what I want to do. And that's what I've gotten much better at over the years, to recognize, that. And but there's a friend of mine, and I'm a trainer for her, and she runs, it's called the Right Use of Power training. And so this is a very important, I'm so glad that this is something that we're all going to talk about, because I'm very interested to hear what everyone else has to say. But the key word for me is, or the key for me with power is, power comes from, Baba Siri Chan is very clear with that. It comes from soul, the real power, the power to heal, the power to, what we need in the world today, comes from soul. And that's what I have to open myself to and defer to, rather than the power that I want to, kind of am tempted to wield over other people. So it's feeling powerless and helpless when it's kind of a little bit of a paradox here, when I am most powerful, when I feel myself powerless and helpless, because that's when soul can take action. That's when soul can take over. That's when soul can lead. So I'm learning that slowly. It's uncomfortable. It's very, very uncomfortable. And it's the truth. So I think I'll give others a chance to talk now.
Okay.
Unless anybody has any questions or whatever, comments.
Okay. Thank you, dear.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait a minute. Okay. Now, how about Gian Das Prem?
Satnam. Oh. Power, yes. So noticing the breath and the beating of my heart, that this organic, right, that, and just challenging the breath. I guess sometimes the soul is the essence of all that we are here, in a sense, right? It's for that power to part of the giveaway, of the takeaway of the being, or however we want to use our words to that, right? But it's the breath. It's so much in the breath that where that can come together, that we can keep what we have inherently. But now we're learning more going into the breath, the gases, right? So the more that we learn with the air and the dirt and the gases and the water and the breathing, that thing to let go through all the information in order for that to be able to process within that breath of how we speak, and come back to how long we can come into our breath, or how we're be able to notice and the letting go. And this, and that noticing of working with that and constantly noticing, releasing, letting go into the being in that divinity circle. Power certainly is a thing that we can use to do many things and to create. It's just amazing what we're doing here now. Yeah. So in that variation, from the death, birth, Akali Kalaka. Akal, we know Akal, we say that to express our knowing that we're here all together with this life before, after, now, here, then, that we are supposedly, and then that other realm that exists, that doesn't exist, that we will be coming to again, that gas form, right, that we're able to zip and zap, and we have become electrocuted. We put our hand on the stoves as this organic beings that we have. Some of us can fly in the sky, so as a bird, or how we look at life as the dirt of the life, of the water of the life, and back to the Satnam and then Wahi Guru. This is the constant expression that we're sort of here to come with and then to face as sort of nothing is. This is the dirt that created me. This is the water that created me. That I have the ability to take those two, make a home out of it, so that I can live in and share with other people the ultimate power that, you know, will show us this light that we see when we look at the clouds and the sun and the moon and the stars, of these different sort of planets that will represent themselves to us through coming under the ground, whether it's celebrating this life that we can study of the earth, knowing cicadas are coming this year. 2 different types, I believe, are coming this year. That's a bug that comes to trees where, so the bandwidths that travel amongst the planet and our cosmos and how we move about through the bubbles and all of these
Gian
things.
does, friend? Gian does, friend?
Yes.
You there? And how about power with Baba City John? Is that okay?
It's something that you have to face and relinquish, right? In order to have true power, you have to be able to release all the power that you think you may have. And I think in seeing that through ourselves and another, absolutely, that's the representation that he can give to me, that I can represent through that being of that stillness in the breath. And that's really what Baba Siri Chand is, noticing that breath and coming back to that breath.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Okay. Thank you, dear.
Thank you. Sat down.
Sat down. Okay.
Thank you.
So now, what about Salt City?
Satnam. Baba City Chan said 3 words. Powerless, to powerful, to empowering. So I think that
Wait a minute, what was the last part?
empowering.
Oh, empowering. Okay.
I'm just thinking about my own practice and where in the place I was at when I first I was on the ashram yesterday, and somebody asked me a question: how to get into this Kundalini community, and it felt, and I remembered that I'd never met Yogi, but I knew nothing about Kundalini yoga. I was in kind of a bad place, and he started showing up in my dreams, screaming at me, you are not a sheep, you are a shepherd. And I was and then it was like, somehow we found you in Pittsburgh and started going to tantric and all that stuff. And the journey was from powerless, powerful, and then the work of a teacher and a yogini and a Sikh and a loving person on this planet is I can use my power to empower others. And I didn't realize that my destiny as a teacher was all about learning how to empower. And the practice just, strengthens my power. All our practices, sadhana, tantric, that stuff moves through that chain. Powerless, which is a place of openness to receive power and become powerful. And then I didn't ever realize so clearly until this meditation that we're doing together in this shared fellowship that, wow, remember, Satsiri, your job is to empower others. And Kundalini teaching is a great way. I just had a job interview and I knew I was moving in a new direction, and it's just great. And now I got distracted because I came to incredible garden center that I kept hearing about but could never find, and stumbled upon it, and I got lost in the flowers. So beautiful.
Mm.
It's a couple of acres, and it's just beautiful. So empowering others is my soul work. That's all I have to
How
say.
do you
Satnam,
do that?
everybody.
And what do you
Well,
about the empowerment for others?
yeah, empowerment. I think the most powerful thing, and it's coming up a lot in the community I'm in, in the city I'm in, but I'm also the fellowships I'm in, helping people claw their way back from really bad addictions. So that's something that's also crossed my. Wasn't looking for it, but the state of Massachusetts is desperate for people to become certified. I don't want to do it like professionally. I just want to do it as a recovery person in recovery communities, helping people who are powerless over drug addiction, which is really bad in the field that I'm in of horticulture, landscaping, which has been my second career. And for me, the whole reason to become a certified recovery specialist is to teach Kundalini yoga and meditation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that simple.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really know what else to say. That's like bowling me over with that clarification. This is the path. Powerless, powerful. We know what happens when we practice serious Kundalini and meditation. We become really powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And the goal is to use that. What I've been instructed by Baba Siri Chan right now, today, and the lives. Had a really nice long chat with Siri Savik. I think it was yesterday. And empowerment. So that's all I have to say. Satnam Pass.
Okay. So no. Okay. Miriam. Miriam, are you there? Japa Saraswati, can you help Miriam?
I think I got it. Sorry.
Oh, good. Great. Okay.
Satnam, everyone.
Satnam.
Satnam.
Oh, no. Yeah, go with Miriam. Okay. Oh,
Yes, Siri, you used to, I used to use my spiritual name, which is Gian, when I was in the
ah,
training with you, if you remember that, maybe, but it has been a while, 7 years past.
oh, okay.
So
That's great. Well, a lot of us have Gian in our name. How about that? The people together. So
isn't that wonderful?
wisdom. Yes.
We got
Okay.
lots of wisdom around us to share.
Okay.
Anyway, it has been a while that I have not been intentionally connect with the soul and Baba Siri Chan, especially after COVID, that the ashram here in Los Angeles closed, that which I used to go and read from the Guru's book. Yes.
Yes.
I'm doing it online these days, all these years. I've been still participating, sitting and reading, but it's online. It's not the same, but it's better than nothing for me.
Mhm.
And I remember the picture of Baba Siri Chan in ashram in Robertson in Los Angeles, which was always stopping me, just just stare at that picture. And looking at how calm and steady and grounded and still one can be.
Mhm.
And it's stunning. astonishing for me. I have been in the spiritual path for many years, practice, many different paths, Buddhism, meditation, and Kundalini yoga, all the training, and also Vipassana, which is the noble silent and all that, and Ho'oponopono that you introduced us to us during the teacher training, which was the amazing thing. I thank you all every time I do Ho'oponopono. But I find myself still, my mind is very chattering. Having said that, when I think about the power, so I'm a little bit rustic. So I'm bringing myself back as I'm sitting in front of my altar with Guru Ram Das and Divine Mother. And after listening to you all, thank you for bringing me back and having me in your group. First of all, I feel already connected and being part of the group, even though it has been a while. But it brings up the power. I think power is, for me, it's more internal than external. And if I be able to be grounded and calm and connected, surrender,
Mm-hmm.
trusting the power within me, not controlling with the power, it's all amazing power. It's in stillness, and not that I have reached it, but that's my goal. If I can be still and calm, and I will be really powerful, not to use my action and reaction and all of that, taking the emotion and the senses and all that take over. That's not power. That's a wrong power for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And
so,
where does it come from?
pardon me?
Where does the power come from?
The power come from trusting that the trust in many levels, the trust that I'm good, the trust that I am doing what I'm supposed to do, trusting the, universe, Divine Mother, with all the practices that I do, it's carrying me and leading me. That's the power come from. And when I lose that, I lose all the power. I become powerless. I become nothing. I don't think I'm anybody. I don't if I even doubt all these years of more than 3 decades, 30, 40 years of practicing, being in the path. I feel like those are all useless if I don't trust within and I don't trust the divine.
Mm-hmm.
I feel powerless.
Okay. Good. Okay. Good. Thank you so much.
Sadhna, thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. This is Japa Saraswati.
No. So the first thing that that Baba reminded me about was there's a philosopher called Derrida who wrote a lot about so in French, Derrida was French and his first language was French, and in the French language there are a number of different words meaning that we all mean power in English. La force, which is like the energy that you use to exert power. La puissance, which is like it's like the I want to say it's like the perseverance of power. It's like the authority. It's the authority that like police or a god would have. And then what's the other one? Pouvoir. Um, and these Anyway, that was the first thing, was to remember that there are different kinds of power, which Derrida writes about. But what Baba next reminded me of was about power being being quiet and being small. That, like, we have in our idea that it's going to be a big action or a big movement, that's what power is, but that power is actually something you do with your small indoor voice, and it's something that you do by being still. And what he showed me was how something that is so incredibly small can still be very, very, very powerful. And I loved what Paul said about right use of power. And I also loved what Paul said about taking responsibility for misuse of power, because, like, I know that I have been guilty of that too. So it was really good to hear, to just hear about that, and to be talking about that, and to be considering how it is that we want to use our power and steward our power. Because what Baba next reminded me of is how power and energy are related. That, like, that something that's very powerful, um, it it can have a lot of energy behind it. And about how we steward our energy and steward our power is really important, because what he showed me was that there are ways we can misuse it, or like distribute it not correctly, that we could waste a lot of our power. Waste is not a nice word, but um, it's better in French to say gaspillage, um, to waste the our power on, like, an angry outburst, or on, like, revenge, or on, you know, there are so many ways to waste our power, to fritter away by, like, essentially by raising our voice. If we speak quietly and slowly, that's the more powerful thing. And um and that was kind of my lesson from Baba today, was about stewarding my power, um so that I have it to serve me. That's where that pouvoir comes from, the authority, is if we steward our power for really, really carefully, and steward it for, I want to say, almost for a long time. It's the perseverance of doing it,
Mhm.
that it has, that if we do it for a long time, that basically builds authority in us, and it builds for us more power.
Mhm.
Is to not fritter it away, and that there are all of these ways that we could fritter it, um and that's not worth it. Basically, right use of power, right use of energy, and stewarding our power so that we have it, I don't want to say at the end of our lives, because it's not about the end of our life, but it feels like, to me, it's something that builds, with proper stewardship through the lifetime.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you know what I'm thinking about? Do you know, in the Old Testament there is heard about um, wait a minute, say how to talk God. You remember that? It has to do being whisper or something else. Do you remember that?
Oh,
What
no,
is
I don't remember that. But what you just said was, I was thinking about in Satanama, using the three voices, the out loud voice and the whisper voice, also called the lover's voice. I think the lover's voice and the silent voice are so much more powerful than the saying it completely out loud. But I don't know what you're talking about from the Old Testament. Does anybody else?
Yes. Does anybody have that?
Yeah, sure. The
Oh, goody.
well, I'm, I really don't know which book it's in, but it's with me all the time. It's I don't know if somebody was on the mountain anyway, went to listen to God and heard God speak. Ooh, I get the chills when I see this.
Mhm.
In a still small voice.
That's it. Go ahead.
And this still small voice is what is the most powerful energy for us.
That's right. You all understand that?
Yeah.
In other
With
words, go ahead.
no, you go.
Okay. Because each one of you are listening for soul. And do you see that it says the small voice? Does that
Mhm.
happen in your mind?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say was about Baba Siddhi Chand. So when you read people who wrote contemporaries of Baba Siddhi Chand, the other Udasis and the people that he lived with, they called him Bale at first because which means little boy in Sanskrit. And it's because he had the countenance of a little boy. You know, he had the he didn't look older than 12 years old, and so people would see him and think he was a small child. And that was the feeling that I had of us listening to this still small voice as we're listening to Baba Siddhi Chand during our meditation just now. I keep remembering just that is the still small voice, and that he got like that. What he showed me on when I on my meditation was how small that power is, that that power is very small.
That's right. Because isn't it funny? There are different words, and I'm not doing the right word. Oh, maybe the opposite. It says on the small part, its small
Mm-hmm.
part is from the ego, from the
Mm,
yes or everyday self, right?
mm.
That's
Okay.
that's where the difficult power comes from. But what comes on the other side is uh, the op opposite side is for soul or God or knowing, knowing what's happening, to listen. And it also means to be, to square, to be listening from God or soul or whatever. Do you understand that? Do you all
Mm-hmm.
understand that?
Why, Guru?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The little voice is so important too. And so for me, I think I've experienced it for most of my life. But back to the akal, noticing in the akal, right? We say akal when we celebrate a life that we no longer see or represents itself to us as a live figure. And that celebrates all of life in between, right? Every life and all of what's in between. And then kalaka is a word that I learned on Sesame Street, which is to come together as a global community. As a simple word for us on the street, it's carpooling.
It's what?
It's a word. Carpooling, when we get together in a car to share the fuel in the energy of the power of the car. by coming together and reducing the amount of our carbon footprint, right? By being together in that vehicle, moving together. So on a train, now we do that nowadays, the kalaka. Yeah, and that's a simple, what the words just come, okay? So that's what's from Baba Siri Chan, just the two words, akal and kalaka. Yeah, and I think that that comes together, right? Akal, all the way back to the testaments of the words and all of that celebration, and kalaka, the coming together. Yeah.
And what
Yeah,
is
why?
I don't know. I'm not understanding that. Kalaga?
Kalaka, KL, yes. It's a word I learned on Sesame Street. That's public broadcasting system that they teach,
I understand,
you know,
but I don't
news
know.
from
Yeah.
the newspaper and from the court documents and from, yeah, pictures. Yeah. So, yeah, and that's in the understanding of letting go and being in that still point two of what we all represented so well here in this meditation here today. Yeah. Why Guru? Why Guru?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, you know, we have two long time people, ashram people, who are Satsang Tok Singh and Sada Anand Singh. He's from well, anyway, from
Is it Japan?
yeah, and Sada Santok for over there in
The sound of the gong, yes, the sound of the gong is amazing, isn't it? From China to India to how this the way the energy moves in waves through the earth and on the earth, and with how everything's shared, and when we come together, yeah, it's beautiful. This coming together with the people that we're represented with in order to be with this new time of, you know, facing it with some sort of a truth, and that ultimately does come back to our breath, because that's what we get challenged with when we have to come into the world, right? Out
Okay,
of the womb, yeah, and into the life.
those two men have passed away. Now, this would be a good time that all of us together with a call. Okay? Are you
How many
together?
times do you want to chant?
Yes, please.
How
Okay.
many times? 3 times or 5 times?
Yes was the original answer.
Okay.
Three. Okay.
Okay, 3 times.
So everybody come straight and remember, think about yourself from soul with Guru, with Sat Santok and Sada Anand. Okay, so heart breath. And inhale. Ah,
Akal.
Bless you all. Understand this is the beautiful change, or the pure living and loving. Okay, so this is also about letting go of ego and being present, because you know from God, from soul, to know this is the small voice, the whisper, and don't go start saying don't go mad. You can't do that. You just stay with soul. Okay? Okay, so now who's going to lead which one is going to lead our song? Okay. Okay, Agia Paul.
Yes. Okay, so we'll breathe in deeply. We'll exhale through our heart in thanksgiving to Baba Siri Chandan for soul and for all that we've learned and they've taught us about soul, and Daridas as well. So inhale to begin. May the long time sun shine upon you. All surround
You
and the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on.
Inhale.
So
Bless you.
Bless you, everyone.
bless you all.
Love
Thank you all.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. And also with Miriam, can you call me? At my phone? Oh, that's when Salt City. No.
I
Joppa
think I can message Miriam on Facebook and give her your updated phone number. I'll do that right now, okay?
Yes, please. That'll be
All
perfect.
right. I will do
Okay.
that. All
Okay.
right.
God bless.
Okay.
Waheguru.
Love you.
Waheguru.
Bye,
Adios.
everybody. Satnam.
Bye. Satnam.
Bye.
Satnam, everyone. Thank you.